Shalom, Israel, with ISUPK started off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Officer Kazakh Par here, teaching the Lashawan Qadash class. I want to have a short class tonight. We had some technical difficulties. Um, let's see. We're on YouTube. We're not on Facebook. Had some problems there. People leaving up screens and affiliation radios and whatever. Uh, we're gonna have to go through that and get to the real nitty gritty. But we're here, Lashawan Qadash class. People logging in. We're gonna have a short class tonight because Commander General Yahanna is gonna come on tonight. And what is that class? The truth, the round tables of truth. Yeah, out of Chicago. So, but we're going to go to days of the week. So bear with me real quick here. The days of the week, of course, we this is Hebrew. You read from right to left, always right to left. As we talked about last week, we talked about the 18 nations and a few nations, how the white nations are putting us in chains and keeping us nullified and void, man. Now they elected a new pope. I think it was Leo, right? The 13th. They had 13 of them Leos down in there. Now this one come popping this easy bake oven head out of the pan and going to be another pope. That's the head pope. That's the head honcho, the head white man, the head Esau, right? That's the head Esau. And of course he's the one that when you read in Daniel 7:25. Let me see if I can find that. Those popes, to get into this, we're gonna talk about how the days of the week are actually named and what they're really named after instead of the foolishness that they got with I think it was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and those days are named erroneously. You know, uh, we got. They said that they would. Let's see if I can find that. What did I say, Daniel?
Okay.
Uh, where is it at? Yeah, Daniel 7:25. Let's find that. Let's see. Okay, go. Daniel 7:25 here talks about the Rome, and back when Daniel was around, they were Daniel was a dreamer. The dreams is heavy to prophecy, man, and of course um, it talked about the end of times here. It says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and wear out the patience and wear out the saints of the Most High. Saints of the Most High is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's the whole key. This text right here is talking about how our oppressor will wear out our patience, man, and killing us and hanging us and doing all bad malice against us. Said he shall wear out he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. To think to change the times, the weeks, the days of the week, the way they're numbered, that's like changing a time, man. You know, the times, the laws. Esau make a law at the drop of a hat. Donald Trump is going and said, let's make another law. Hey, if you don't like the 25-cent tariff, how you like the 125% tariff? I mean, he just makes a law, man. Now he's got the head Leo helping him out right there. That's the head man in charge right there. That's what this text is going is to change the laws, and they shall be given unto him a hand unto his hand until a time dividing a time. This is a prophecy, man. This is a prophecy about they will wear out the patience of the saint, wear out the children of Israel. This is only about the children of Israel and what our oppressor is doing to us in the end time. And then of course the days of the week, we'll go over that real quick here and we'll end class. The days of the week are not named Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Can they see this okay? Right? Let's get to this right here. Can they see that okay? A little low.
Mhm.
How about that? Think see that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Sunday, Monday. Sunday is like, like they call it the first day of the week. But let's give you some history behind Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the mythology, man. This is just a bunch of myths. The days of the week, not they named they named after gods, man. Like what do you call it? Sunday? Let's name them before we get into the spelling of them. 'Cause the Bible really. Let's get into this right here. This is how the days of the week. That word, yawam. The way for days. The word for days is yawam. If you want to say with the S plural here, you want to say yawam yam. So you want to say plural. This is plural right here. Okay. So it's the days, not the day, but the days. It's all these days, right? All 7 of them. The days of the week. The yawam yam. And then, of course, when you want to say, if you want to say, well, it's of is considered, so you say the week. So you say the, and you say shabawai. Shabawai is week. Shabawai. Okay. Shabawai. We got the last list. Okay. Then we have, okay. So Sunday, well, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Barak Atham to all my brothers, Yahweh Shema Alathan Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to my sisters for joining class here. But Sunday, they call that the day of the sun. That's what all these Pope Leos and all this old Roman, that's what Daniel was going through. What we got?
Princess Yaruba is in class.
Yeah, clap it up.
They're from Jamaica.
Clap it up for Princess all the way in Jamaica. And they can attest to me because down there, they say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday also. But that is not the correct or true day of that. You would call Sunday, what they call it, we call it, the Lord called it Ra'ashwan, the real day of the week. This is like 1 or first. Okay. Ra'ashwan is like the first. Okay. That is actually what you should be calling it because the Most High called it that. You know. Let's go back into Genesis and find out when did the Lord say that? He said that, did he? He said that in the beginning. Let's go back there. And God said, let it be. When he called it the days of the week, let's prove it. The Bible says prove all things. So it certainly didn't call it no Sunday. He didn't call it no Monday. And we're going to get into all those God days or what they call gods, right? Yeah. And then he said this. 4th, 5th, okay. Let's find the first one here. 3rd, okay, here it is right here. The Lord says, and God called the dry land earth and the gathering together, when Genesis 1 and 10. Earth and the gathering together of the waters called he seas, and God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth, or when we say God, we're really saying Yahweh. That's right. And God or Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, the fruit trees yielding the fruit after his kind, whose seed was in itself. Okay. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and a tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Yahweh saw it was good. Then he says the evening and the morning, that was the 3rd day. So he didn't miss some days here. Wait a minute. Firmament in the water. Okay, I'm sorry. Here we go. Let's go back here. Verse 5. And God called the light and the darkness, he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. First is Ra'ashwan. That's how you say first, okay? Ra'ashwan. Okay? We got that? Ra'ashwan. Let's make sure you'll find that in Genesis 1 and 1. When you say Ra'ashwan, you're saying the first day. So the Lord said of Sunday, this is the day that that your popes back there in Rome, they call it Sunday. They call it the day of the sun because they worship the sun. Even Pharaoh, he worshiped the sun, you know? But it's actually Yawam Ra'ashwan. Now, did I spell that right? We're going to find out here. Oh, no. Yeah. Ra'ashwan. Jesus. I missed a whole Ra'ash. I missed a whole A. Y'all let me miss that A? Shame on you. So we're going to say W-A-N. There. Ra'ashwan. You can spell it in Hebrew when you say Yah, Yawam, Yawam. There it is right there. Then you want to say Ra, Ash, One, Ash, One, Ra'ashwan. That's first. Anybody know what? How do you? Because if you can tax on your number system, if you remember the number system, you'll know how to say this next day, day 2. We're going to read about it here. Let's go to that before we read. Let's read in Genesis what it should be called first, because somebody called it Monday. I think it's one of them popes back there, right? One of them Pope Leos or Benedicts, one of them Cardinals, one of them redhead caps guys there. So they don't name it. They don't. Let me get started here. It says this: the first day, and God said, "Let there be." We're on Genesis 1:6. This is the way it should properly be called. And God said, "Let the firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And Yahweh made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. As so the Lord is dividing the firmaments now. He's dividing the waters, the mayams, the shemayams, okay, the heavens, okay, the firmament. It was so. And Yahweh called the firmament, that's what it is, heaven. Okay. All right, these are the heavens, shemayams, right? Bashamayim. And the evening and the morning were the second day. Now, how do you say second in Hebrew? Somebody talk to me. How you say number? How you say 2? Y'all remember that? I done gave you some of it. I gave you some of it, did I? Gave you Yawam. Yawam is what? Day. Day Ra'ashwan. Day first. Yawam. How you say 2 in Hebrew? Anybody? Y'all type it in the chat. The Facebook today. We'll get that straight because we have some technical difficulties here in the ISUPK South Carolina. We have we could only get the channel on the YouTube today. I talked to my officer Sharp, and he's working on it. People get on it and they forget to change things, I guess. But we're gonna work on that. What we got? Anybody got any answer? So we're only on Facebook today.
YouTube.
I mean YouTube today. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What we got? Well, I mean, you can read it over here. Yah, Wam, Shah, Shun, Yah. So Shun Yah. Okay, well, let's just say it there. We'll just say it. Let's say Shun Yah. Okay. I'll write it in for y'all. Y'all write them. If y'all know them, tell me. Because all you got to do is be able to count in the Hebrew and you'll know. Because the Most High, I'm reading you. Y'all follow along with me. In Genesis, what I say? 9th chapter now. And the Most High saw with Genesis 1:9. We're telling you the correct name. It definitely ain't going to be Tuesday. Well, let's go back. Why did they call it? Why did they call it Monday? Let's go back there. Why did the Pope and all them call it Monday? Well, let's do a little bit of that. That was the day of the moon. Okay, Monday. They called that Monday was they called that the day of the moon. But the Lord said, and Daniel, the prophecy said they would to change the days and the time, and sure enough, You know, all them Pope likes and them Leo likes. That's all them Pope Leos and all them Cardinals and all them whatever sin they are, child molesters or whatever they got back there. They got back and changed everything. And the days is no different. They changed that also. Okay? Because we're looking at the evidence how they changed. Look at that. It should be Yawam Shanya. That's what we got over here. All right. What's the next Tuesday, right? Tuesday, those Romans, they named this after the Norse god Tyr, whatever the hell it is. Single combat law. It's single combat law and justice. So Tuesday, named after some god, Tyr or Tiw or something like that. But it is not Tuesday. That is not the actual. So let's find out what is the actual. We're putting that in red to show you what the Most High actually named it. Okay. What did he say? And God saw and let the waters underneath the heaven as it appeared. Okay, yeah, verse 10. And the Most High called the land earth and the gathering. So slop you for a second. That's 2, right? Because the days are named from 1 through 7. And then we'll don't have room for the Sabbath, so I'm gonna have to put it down. I'll write it here, but we'll have to write it separate after I get this together. Right? Because they can't see that, can they? Okay, go up. Who we got? Somebody got an answer?
No, the answer.
Go ahead. What we got? What we got? Okay, so Tuesday, instead of the Romans calling it Tuesday, instead they called it Tuesday because they wanted to change the laws. But what is the correct? That's what we're looking for. What's the correct? Yawam what?
Azara said Shalash.
Shalom Shalash. Is she right? Check her. Make sure she's right. Shalom Shalash. That what you're saying? Like this? Because you can read it over here. You can read the Hebrew. I'm giving it to you. Right? I think I got that right. I may have it off there a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I may have one of them off. Yeah, I'm sorry. Shalom Shalash, right?
Yawam Shalash.
Yawam Shalash. Sorry. But I got something mixed up right here. Let's put that down correctly. Let's just put it down correctly. Because that ain't right there. Okay. Sorry about that. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Isn't that better? Shalom Shalash. Okay. All right. And I know these are going to be wrong because I got them out of order there. Sorry about that when I was writing them. So we'll rewrite those. All right. Okay. All right. So Wednesday. And the Wednesday, when they call Wednesday, the Roman gods, the Romans call all their days of the week after gods. Okay. They have the Norse or Woden or Mercury. Woden or Uden. That's what they call Wednesday, which is, of course, wrong. So what should it be called? So we got the first, Ra'ashwan, the second one, Shanya, Yawam Shanya, Yawam Shalash. What's the next? Let's read it in the Bible. That'll help, wouldn't it? We're going through. What's going through? And the Lord said this. He says, and the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after its kind. This is verse 12. And the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. That's that third day. Okay. Okay. So the third day, that's what we named it, right? So what's the fourth day? Let's go to that one, right? And God, or Yahweh, really name is Yahweh, and Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmaments of the heavens to divide the days from the night. Now, Lord's putting light up there now. He's telling you how it's really done, not by some Roman. From the night. And let these be for signs and seasons, and for days and years, and let them be for lights of the firmament in the heaven, right? To give light upon the earth. And it was so, right? And the Most High made the two great lights, the greater light ruled by day, and the lesser light ruled by night. And he made the stars also, right? And he says, Yahweh set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw it was good. Yahweh saw it was good. And then what did he call that? He said the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So what do you call the fourth day? We definitely don't call it Wednesday, do we? So what do we call it? Let's talk about, let's make sure we get the Hebrew right over in here. So what do we call it? Y'all type it in the chat what it is. Let's get the Hebrew and type it what it is. What we got here? What they try to say Wednesday was, we said it. Y'all know what it is, don't you? So let's get it straight over here. There we go. Slocky about that. I had to rewrite that one over again too. But anyway, if you can read that, then you can tell me what day that is. So Wednesday is really not a Wooden god or whatever they call it. What do they call it there? The Norse Wooden god of Mercury. That's not real what the name really is. That real name of what you would call Wednesday, and what the Pope and the Rome back then, and all of the popes that have come up, and they tried to change the days and the times in Daniel 7:25. And Daniel said, wait a minute, Hoss. That ain't the way it's gonna be. And so then and then matter of fact, they in there right now. They're gonna change laws again every day. They seem like they change laws every day up in Rome. But what do you call Rome? That's the Esau. That's all the nations of Esau, man. That's they trying to, they ain't nothing but old Rome. They trying to all Italy, what's that? France, Luxembourg, Denmark, all of them ain't nothing but old Romans. Don't fool yourself up. In ISUPK, we understand the Commander General Yahanna that they tried to change these days. We know Lashawan, Shanya, Shalash. What's the next one? It certainly ain't Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Slocky. They call that Saturday. I'm sorry. That's the wrong thing. What we got? Anybody guessing that?
No.
Okay. Tell them what it is. Anybody? All right, let's go ahead and guess. Number 4. What is it? Huh?
Arabai.
Arabai, right? Okay, we'll say that then. Arabai.
Azarasa too.
Adazara said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, everybody, let's clap it up there. Clap it up for the sister right there. Yes, exactly. It's Arabai. It's I got Yawam Rabbi. That's what that is. I had them out of. I had this messed up over there, mixed up. Order there. Arabai, that's four. Or so far we have the proper days of the week is Yawam, which means day. Ah, okay. Day one. The Lord said day one. That's what we're reading out of Genesis. We're reading it directly from what the Lord say. Okay? Directly. Directly from what he says it should be. Ra'ashwan, Yawam Shah, Yawam Shalash, Yawam Arabai. There's the Hebrew for it right here. Now, how could they mess up? All they had to do is ask us. We would have told them. They didn't have to get into a meeting 21 and try to change the laws in time. Is that what it was? Yeah, let's read a little bit about that. Because it said that on Saturday. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to Saturday real quick here. Anyway, that's what it is. All right, what's the fifth day? They said was Thursday. You know damn well that ain't right. Let's see what's some history behind Thursday. Y'all go ahead. Well, if you can know your number system, you'll be Thursday. The hammer. The hammer wielding, like when they wield a hammer, like they hit a hammer, probably best that they hit their hand. They call it Thor, or the Norse thunder, strength, protection. That's what they call them. They always have some god because they don't have the real live Yahweh. They don't have Yahweh. They don't have that. So they're going to have to some god. In this case, they call this god Thursday. We know that ain't right. So, and God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have life and fowl that may fly above the earth and the open firmament of the heaven. And Yahweh created the great whales. This is when the Lord created the whales, man. Okay. And all the animals, right? And the living creature that moveth upon the waters bring forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And the Most High saw that it was good. And the Most High blessed them, saying, be fruitful, multiply, fill the waters and the seas. Let the fowls, and said, be fruitful, saying, male, get with the female, and y'all be fruitful. Ain't no two gay fish gonna be forming around saying, can't, what they, only Rome could think of stuff like this. Check this out. Following, wait a minute, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the fowl multiply the earth. And the evening and the morning were the what day? Fifth day. So the fifth day. So what is the fifth day? Somebody talk to me. What's that fifth day? Let's fill it in, right? Anybody? Y'all write it in there. Let them get a chance to write it in there. The fifth day. What's that? Thursday? What they call it Thursday? But what? Huh? What is it? What they got?
ISUPK. Yahanna said Qadash.
Who said this? Qadash?
ISUPK.
How should you spell that?
CHAAMASH.
That's right. Let's clap it up for the sister, right? Very good. So let's go ahead and spell it out at least, let's get it straight on my behalf here. Qadash? Okay. Okay, Qadash. So we're going to spell that like this. Y'all write this down in your notes too. It's going to help you. Write it down in your notes because, it helps you to have it, because we'll go over this class in more detail some other day. Okay, that's your Qadash, right? There it is right there. Qadash. Okay. All right. What about Friday? That's the Romans call Friday. They call that a god too, because that's the Norse god. It's a myth. Frigid, almost like Frigidaire. Fragile. What is this? Some planet. Was Venus or something?
Counter.
Huh?
Venus.
Yeah, it's Venus. The North myth. So Friday is named after some Norse myth. This Norse, some kind of gods they have out there, man. Venus planet. Hey, let them have that. But that's what they teach in these schools out here, and that's not right. So you got another pope up in here, like I say, Pope Leo. They're gonna talk about that, and Commander General Yahanna probably. We don't know, but they're gonna go over some stuff. Let's make sure you guys tune in tonight, right? That's why I'm gonna get out of here soon, real soon. Kamash, okay. All right, here's Friday. Yawam. What did I say Friday was? That was Kamash. Did it say okay, yeah. That's what they called it. So what is actually Friday? What is when they say Friday? What's the real name for it? It would be day number 6. Did we read about it? Day number 6. So read about that. Read about day 6. It's Yawam what? Yawam. Stop it. Yawam, this right here. Y'all can read that. If you can read that writing, can they read that? Yeah.
So,
All right. Tell me what it is.
Salakia Azra has an answer.
What you got, Azara?
She has Shah.
Shasha.
Shah.
There it is. Sha. So it's like counting because you know your numbers. So they basically say Yawam Ra'ashwan, Yawam Shanya, Yawam Shalash, Yawam Arabah. That's the 4th. These are days of the week. Yawam means day. Okay? These are the days. First day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. Yawam Kamash, Yawam Shasha. That's what this is called. And that's all it should be called. It should never gotten off to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Never have gotten to that. All right. So let's do what's that? Saturday? The last one, right? Can they see that last line down here? Can they see this last line?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get to it then. Huh? Let's get to it. That last line, it will be Yawam what? Let's go here. They barely got enough room right here. Yawam, right? Can you read this right? Yawam what? Tell me what this last one will be. Tell me what the last one will be. Matter of fact, I'll write it out here for you real quick. There. There it is right there. Now, y'all tell me. Yawam. That's the 7th day of the week, right? So how do you say 7th day of the week? Let's find it. Let's read what the Most High said about the 7th day of the week in the Bible. So we'll know. We'll have the evidence of it. Okay? That was the 5th. The Lord had the 6th day. All right. Y'all working on that seventh day, right? That was the seventh.
Azra has an answer.
Okay. What you have?
She has Shabbat.
Spell that.
Shabi.
Okay. Shabbat or Shabbat or Sabbath. Because that's, and I'll read about it. Let's read about what the Lord said about that in Genesis 2, the creation of man and woman. Thus, the heavens and the earth were finished, and all of them, hosts of them. And on the seventh day, Yahweh ended his work which he had made and rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. Okay, rested just means he completed what he needed. The Lord needs no rest, the Bible says. You got to make sure you understand that. The Lord don't sleep or slumber. He don't need rest. He don't get tired like we do. Rest just means he ended it. That's all. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. And because that in it he had rested from all his work, which the Most High created and made. Okay, that's the seventh day. That's what you call Shabbat. All right. And what did they call? And let's read a little about what the Pope did. Okay, the Pope, they call Saturday, which is really actually the Sabbath. They changed the laws and time. Remember? Can they see that? Yeah. It says uh this Pope, this the lineage of this popehood, Leo and all of them hat, all of them little popcorn hats they got on there, and the ice cream shoes and the Pope mobile, them, that Rome, okay? Yeah. Pope changed the Sabbath to Sunday, 321 CE or AD. Constantine changed the day to Sunday as a rest worship uh, day, okay? He changed that day, the solemnity from what was Sunday, the first day of the week, the day of the sun, and he changed it from Saturday to the first day. That's why they're confused and mixed up. That's why all this stuff right here, in other words, I got it up here, but you can actually put a line through every last thing there. I put a line there. I ain't gonna erase it so you can see it physically. So do we understand? If we understand, hey, we conclude that Rome is a liar. That's what we conclude, right? That's what we do. You see, we conclude that they don't know what they're talking about. That's all it is to it. As simple as that. We conclude that Rome sought to change the days and the time, but the Most High named them Ra'ashwan, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash, Shashah, Shabai. Yawam means day. Okay, so let's clap it up for class right here. That's all that's needed right there. We're going to end class with that, letting you know we got to get ready for Commander General Yahanna when he comes on. If we don't know what time that is, but we're gonna make sure we clear the airways there for that. But we guys, if we learned something, clap it up for class, man. Clap it up. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatham to all my brothers. Yahweh Shemai Alathan Bashem Yahweh Shai to my sisters. Clap it up for class if you learn and you understand the days of the week. Pretty good there, right? So we're going to go to our announcements and find out some information here. Let's see. It's locked. Still don't have that thing. Anyway, all right. Yeah, I actually do. Okay. We are the ISUPK. Start off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The rule for the brother and the sister. When a brother and sister come to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 and 10. Salaki. Means tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'asherah. 10% of every penny of increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department, a teacher, priest fund, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Up holy convocations. Let's see. Salaki here. Hold a minute. Okay, here it is right here. Salakia. Okay. Salakia, we have the next, we have the Feast of First Fruits, starts after the Sabbath. Unleavened bread, sundown, Sunday, yeah. Sunday, April 20th, yeah. It's already started because we're counting 50 days here. Count 50 days, celebrate the 50th day. That's what we'll do. We'll celebrate the 50th day. That will be Sunday, June the 8th, 2025. Start before sundown. Leviticus 23, 10, and 22. So make sure you guys govern yourself accordingly and put the dates down. Okay. Let's finish up here. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. Okay. We'll salute out the class. Imam Shabbat, Ahmad, Barak, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Atam, Yamata, Sarn face the sisters, salute out the sisters. Imam Shabbat, Ahmad, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shema Al-Fan by Hashem Yahushua.
Mata, class dismissed.